On Fishing TV.
Alright, so today's goal is to go ahead and make a little custom cutting board area for my Ocean Kayak Trident 13. As you can see, I have here the rod pod lid. There's no area to go ahead and cut your bait on except for maybe this spot, but I really don't want to go ahead and put all these cuts and scratches onto my lid. So what I went ahead and did is I went to Walmart, bought me a cheap little cutting board for $2.17. As you can see right there, I've already marked where I'm going to go ahead and cut it at. That's going to fit right here on this area. It's going to cover up all this area right here, but I really don't use any of this. The only thing I use is this for my rod holder and this for my camera mount. So I'm not going to miss this too much. So that's what's going to be my cutting board area right there. Alright, so normally I would cut this with a jigsaw, but since I don't have my jigsaw here today, I'm going to go ahead and use this roto zip. I'm going to go ahead and clamp this down to the table. That way it'll be nice and sturdy. Won't move around while I'm cutting, and hopefully YouTube won't get to see a finger cut off today. Just kidding. Alright, so before you get to the cutting part, you want to make sure you get yourself some nice pair of safety glasses, because when you cut the poly board, it's going to start shooting up a lot of debris and stuff in the air, and you don't want to get any of that in. Alright, so let's go ahead and start cutting. You want to go downwards in a down motion, this particular type of cutting bit. Another quick tip on when cutting this poly board, the bit spinning at this high speed gets this stuff really hot, so when it shoots onto your hands it's going to burn a little. So if you want, you can wear some gloves unless you don't mind the little burning pain a little. Other than that, just everything should be alright. Just keep your hands still and away from the bit and you should be alright. Let's continue with our cut. Alright, so when you're done, you should have an end result like this. You're going to have a bunch of this little extra frills and stuff on there. You can just go ahead and get your reamer tool back and just kind of scrape all that off at the end. It'll cut it off all real easily. I'm going to go ahead and file this with a straight file and make the edges nice and curved and round and not sharp, and file this nice and flat. And I'm going to go ahead and round the corners off to match these other existing corners too as well. Alright, this is what I meant by a flat straight file. Just go ahead and get one of these. Clamp your board down to the table. Just start working at those little bumpy edges that you get when you're cutting. After a while, this will be nice and flat and smooth. Alright, so this is my finished product. Result of the cutting board. Rounded off the edges. I messed up this one a little bit, so it looks a little whack, but it's alright. Actually, it's going to go like this. Just like that. Alright, so I changed my mind, and instead of actually going and permanently screwing it down onto my lid, I'm just gonna go ahead and screw it onto the one corner. That way, if I ever do decide to throw something in these little spaces, which I usually just throw like extra hooks and stuff when I change them out and I throw my pliers in there, I can actually just go ahead and pivot it to the side and still have access to these little ports down here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and drill this one hole all the way through the bottom, and if you can see here, this is the actual little screw port right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill that through all the way through, and I'm gonna use this bolt and go ahead and feed it all the way through, put some washers and then a lock washer, and then that way I can go ahead and tighten it down and use this like a hinge. That way I can still pivot it to the side and have access to all these little ports. Alright, so you want to go ahead and drill this. You want to make sure you're nice and straight. If you want to help you out a little bit, you can go ahead and drill the bottom out first. There we go. So there you have it. Since I'm using a 1/4 inch bolt, I'm gonna go ahead and drill it out with a 1/4 inch size drill bit also as well. That was just kind of like a pilot hole to go ahead and start me off. There you have it. Alright, so once you do that, just go ahead and feed your bolt through. Put your washers on top on the cutting board side. Put your washer, your lock washer, and then your nut. Go ahead and get your wrench. I'm gonna hold this down through on the other side. Just go ahead and tighten it up. Oops. There you go. Sorry about that camera shake. Got an uneven table and my drill tipped over. So there you have it. That's how it should look. Now I have my cutting board up on top whenever I want to use it. And if I want to go ahead and throw some hooks on these little compartments, pivot it to the sides, throw my stuff in there. You know, throw my hooks, weights, whatever I want. I just took off my line, throw it in there, and then just cover it back up, and there you go. So that's that. That's my little custom cutting board for my Ocean Kayak Trident 13.